For hyperclay, the idea or concept I'm looking at is the actual elemental nature of the material itself. Clay, as we know, has been used to date ancient civilizations through the identification of pottery shards, and it's also used today in the latest technologies such as superconductors and precision tools and equipment. So ceramics continue to be a primary everyday material, whether used in domestic tableware or in the introduction of precision ceramic knives in the kitchen, for example. I'm particularly interested in the way the whole cycle of clay and its properties is transformed into a vitrified or semi-vitrified state, and how this might inform on or reflect on our relationship to other cycles and processes in the natural world. The set of figures that I employ in this new work and the video work are glazed and fired, so they're never going to break down. And they are the product of an irreversible transformation process, which requires a great deal of energy. So this has become a significant factor to consider in my art practice. The process for producing this work involved a lot of experimenting with fired and unfired and semi-fired pieces in clay, and submerging them in water in conjunction with oxides and other materials. But finally I decided to use an already existing glazed group of figures because they speak of both permanence and impermanence. The rock, paper, scissors archetype are a particularly poignant symbol of fallibility and indecision, I think. Do we just leave hard decisions to chance and hope for the best, or do we make informed decisions which might turn out to be uncomfortable? So I use clay a lot more sparingly these days in my art practice than I used to, because I'm much more concerned about using whatever medium best expresses the concept. I'm interested in expressing scale and our relationship to the natural world and to the global community, and the way we relate to technology these days. So using video in my art practice has become an actual progression. The leap from sculptural ceramics to video was quite accidental. I was preparing a solo show and using figures, seated figures, which I found were too stiff and formal. So in an attempt to soften the statues, I immersed them in water, and it was while I was watching the process of disintegration that I became visually and intellectually engaged with the process. And this led to a much more considered view of my art practice. Ironically, involving new media can be complicating, but it can also allow you to hone in on a much simpler and more incisive expression of the media by looking at the rawest elements that you're producing. My previous video work involving clay is a video called ichor, which is a Greek word meaning the ethereal fluid flowing in the veins of the gods, but poisonous to mortals. And this is obviously very much concerned with our relationship to the natural world, which is what I'm still pursuing in the hyperclay work.